Hey y'all, it's me Edie Hill 1988, and yes, you are on the correct page. You read the title correctly. I'm going to tell you all about my first at-home vaginal steam bath, or veggie steam, or V-steam, however you want to word it. I don't know where to start with this, y'all, so okay, I guess I'll just start from here. As y'all know, I've got 3 children. I've had 3 children back to back. I've been either pregnant or nursing since 2009, and I'm the type of woman that when I nurse, I do not get a period. Like, I don't get a cycle. I'm pretty much infertile until, that 1 year window. And then that's when I obviously get pregnant again because I have them back to back to back. But that's when my cycle starts back. So I go up to, like with Kane, he was 11 months when my period returned. And y'all, if this is TMI, I'm sorry, but I started in the pregnancy community. So for me, this is like nothing. But when Kane was 11 months, my period returned, and that same month I got pregnant with Carson. With Carson, my period returned when she was, I think, 14 months, and then I got pregnant with Kylan when she was 15 months old. And then with Kylan, my period returned this past November, so he was 13 months, and so that means I've had a regular period since then because I'm not pregnant again. So I've had November's period, December, January, February, and I just had March. So but like I said, I'm the type, so I don't get a period the whole time I nurse, and when it does come back, it is horrific. Like, the one that I had after Kane Bear was horrific, and we conceived Carson. The one that I had after Carson was horrific, and then we conceived Kylan. And so with Kylan, I've now had 5 consecutive periods without getting pregnant again. So I am definitely suffering through the whole, my body getting used to being fertile again, and regulating my cycles and that kind of stuff. So from November to honestly February, like, my periods were absolutely horrific, guys. They were absolutely horrific. And I talked to my friend about it, and I was like, oh my god, like, all right, hold on y'all just a second. Okay, so I think I was telling y'all that my cycles were horrific. I can't remember, I just had to handle Carson a second ago, but I think I was telling y'all that my cycles, like November through February, were absolutely horrific. And they were just really heavy, and it was just, I was a wreck, y'all. So I talked to my friend about it, and I was like, oh my god, like, my cycles are just, it's just absolutely torture, like, this time around. And because I guess I'm just not, my body was not used to having cycles back to back to back, because like I said, y'all, I would get pregnant immediately after getting a cycle back, and this is the first time that I haven't done that since 2009. So she was like, oh, you should try V steaming or veggie steaming or whatever. And I was like, I'd never heard of it, y'all. I would never thought of it. And so I've been researching it since probably about December or January. And this month, March, I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And but before I even go into how I did it and all that kind of stuff and all that, I will list the benefits of veggie steaming. So I'll go ahead or V steaming, y'all. I'll go ahead and list those now for y'all to look at, I guess. So here they are. Here are the benefits. Okay, y'all, so as you can see, there are a ton of benefits to V-steaming, and my main one was to, I guess it's gonna sound gross, but I just needed to feel cleansed and, like, cleaned out, y'all. I felt really backed up after, not having a cycle for so long. I feel like there was, like, a lot of just old tissue, a lot of just stuff just need to be cleansed, because, just not having a cycle for a while isn't, to me, it's not good. Like, your body is meant to be just cleansed monthly. And so and I think that's why, when I get my cycles back, they're absolutely horrific, because and that's why I cramp so much, because my body's just trying to expel all that build up tissue or whatever. I don't know, y'all, that's what I'm just speculating, and judging by the way it feels, that's probably what it is. So I decided to V-steam to just feel better, y'all. But I'm not sure if I listed all of these that I'm going to read off, but it says women who may benefit from veggie steaming could have the following conditions: uterine fibroids, painful periods, uterine weakness, uterine prolapse. And it's weird because as soon as I read uterine weakness, I was like, my uterus doesn't feel the same way it did when I got pregnant with Kane. Like, I noticed it's a little weaker, and that's just because I've had so many kids back to back to back. But let's see, it also helps with endometriosis, ovarian cyst, reproductive adhesion / scar tissue, vaginal tears or episiotomies. And here was a big one for me where it said dark purple or brown blood at the onset or end of menses. I've had that since I can remember, y'all, and I thought that was always normal. Like, I figured that, you know, when my cycle would start, I would have like a little bit of brown blood, and I just thought, oh, my period's coming. And I had no idea that that wasn't normal until I tried veggie steaming, y'all, and I'm going to tell y'all about my whole experience. So here's what I did. Like I said, I researched it, and I researched, like, there's a ton of concoctions for herbs. You can even buy them online, and you can actually go to spas and get it done. There aren't too many spas that will do it, at least not in my area. I couldn't find one in my area. And so, yes, I decided to do it at home. That was the first step, was deciding to do it at home. The second step was, okay, how am I going to do it at home? So I looked up a list of herbs that I thought would, you know, benefit me. And I went to a store that, like an herbalist, I guess, and I got all the herbs, and I put them in a mason jar. So as you saw, I put the herbs in a mason jar, and you're supposed to have enough herbs to fill a mason jar. And yeah, so then yeah, put in a mason jar and all that. And I know you can buy like a special chair to do your V-steam. Like, you're supposed to, God, I don't know, like, it's not that complicated, but I'm trying to think of the sequence, you know. So you're basically supposed to steep your herbs. You're supposed to boil your herbs and then steep them for like 15 minutes, and then you're supposed to take the herbs, like take the pot and then put it under the special chair, and you're supposed to sit down, you know, over the pot and wrap yourself up in a blanket and stay all nice and warm and stuff, and it steams your vagina. So I thought it was pretty cool. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna try it, and I did try it, but I did not buy the chair, y'all. I think it said, like, some people do it, you know, quite often. I plan to do it every 6 months or so, so I couldn't see investing in a chair, being that I will only use it twice a year. So I looked online, and one lady was like, "Chow boo," she was like, "I sanitized my toilet, like bleached the toilet down," and she was like, "I bought a stainless steel pot, and I put all the herbs in, steeped them and all that," and she was like, "I put the pot inside of my toilet, and then I sat on the toilet." And I was like, ding ding ding, like, that was genius to me. So that's what I did, y'all. It sounds gross, but it's really not, y'all. I sanitized my toilet, and it's cool because we actually have a toddler chair on top of the toilet. So it was like the perfect bee steaming situation for me, because I sat on the chair, and it was just like, you know, the little toddler opening, so it was just perfect to just, you know, really get up in there. And I had the most amazing bee steaming experience. I think I steamed for like 45 minutes, and I watched a few YouTube videos, that kind of thing. The steam at first was like super hot, obviously, so I had to wait a little bit. So that's why I say 45 minutes, but I pretty much let it cool off for a little bit, and then I steamed. But so yeah, so you can buy the special chair, y'all. I did not do that. For no more than I'm gonna do it, I just sat the stainless steel pot, and it didn't even touch the water or anything, so it's not like super gross or anything. But I put the stainless steel pot with the herbs in it that was already steeped and had the steam coming up. I put that in the toilet. I sat on that, and I wrapped myself up in a blanket, and I just steamed. And then you're supposed to lay in the bed for like an hour, which is what I did after that. So I did it a week before my cycle started, exactly a week before. And when my cycle started, you guys, oh my God, it was insane. Like, I looked online, a lot of women were saying, you know, the different stuff, and y'all, if this is TMI, then sorry, but a lot of women were saying what they saw, like, after steaming and all that. And you guys, and y'all, I'm going to let you know now. I mean, if you're watching this far into it, you're probably interested in it, and you know it's gonna be TMI. But y'all, I had so many clots, it was unreal. Like, it was just gross to me. And I didn't have cramping. Usually when I have clots during my cycle, I have a ton of cramping, you know, accompanied with it. And there was absolutely no cramping. I was just passing like lots of just old tissue and just like stuff that I didn't even think was not possible. But I mean, I read it and I was like, oh, you know, maybe it's a fluke, I don't know. But y'all, this bee steaming stuff, y'all, oh my God, like, I passed so much, just, I felt like, I just felt really cleansed, you know. I felt like it was getting all the old stuff that was in there that, you know, I haven't passed since getting my cycle back after Kylan. I feel the most cleaned out I've ever felt in my entire life, y'all. I bled pretty heavy for the past, and I bled even heavier than normal, but I think that's just because I had so many clots and stuff too. But I bled pretty heavy the first 2 days, and my periods usually last about 6-7 days, y'all. My period only lasted 4 days. And it's just insane to me that, like, I had a 4-day period, and when it started too, like, usually, like I said, I see the brown blood, and then it goes, you know, to dark red, and then tapers back off to brown. And the brown blood means that there's old blood, and means that you're not, you know, that, like, when during the onset of your period. If you have brown blood, then that's not a good thing because that means that you weren't cleaned out the last cycle. But this time, y'all, my period started with like bright red blood and it ended with red blood. I had no brown blood this entire period. And usually, like I said, I usually know my period starting because like I'll have like brown spotting for like 15 to 24 hours or 14 to 24 hours, just depends. And then I will go to bright red blood. And then like the last day or so, like the 7th day, I will have spots of brown blood. I did not have that this time, y'all. It started off really red and it ended really red and then it was done. And it was only 4 days, y'all. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend vaginal to anyone, honestly. It's really good for reproductive health. It's really good for, just just everything in general, y'all. I just feel so much better after doing it. And I would highly suggest it to anybody. It's really easy to do at home. I bought all the herbs, y'all, and I will have a list of the herbs. If I didn't already put them in the video, I'll have a list of the herbs down below in the description bar. But I only spent like $5.98 on the herbs, y'all. And if you look online, you can buy the herbs for like $17 or $20 or something, y'all. I got them for $5 and did it myself at home. And my whole VCMing experience with the pot included was less than $20. So, like I said, I would highly recommend it, y'all. I know it sounds crazy when I tell people that I did a Vagisteam. Some people are like grossed out, and then I told them everything that happened after the Vagisteam. Like, I have a lot of people like, oh my God, that's so cool. I want to try it now. I can only imagine what's gonna happen to me because I know a woman that I was talking to about it, and she was saying she has the Mirena, and she like spots with the Mirena, but she never has a full-blown cycle with it and that kind of thing. She's just like, I don't feel cleansed out. And oh my God, I can imagine if I did it, like my next cycle, what would happen. And I talked to a woman that has endometriosis, and she's really wanting to do it because, like I said, women have been known to do Vagisteams and then conceive. So there's just so many benefits to it, y'all. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I already listed most of the benefits before, y'all. But like I said, I did it mainly to just feel just clean and just cleansed and to get my body in gear, y'all. And this was the first period that I've had since November that was not painful. I mean, like I said, I bled a little more than normal, but I think that's just because my body was just really, cleaning itself out. But I had absolutely no cramping. I mean, and like I said, y'all, since I was like, I got my period at like 12, and since 12, I've been like doubled over in pain monthly with the period. And, oh, that's my neighbor. But I'm doubled over monthly with a period, y'all. And this month I had absolutely no cramping, and it was only 4 days long. So I'm really excited to see, as the months progress, I'm really excited to see how my cycles shape up, because I'm actually not looking forward to them, but I'm not dreading them like I used to, y'all. I used to dread a cycle, and subconsciously that's probably why I had so many kids back to back, y'all, because I was like, you know what, I'd rather be pregnant than to have another period. That's how bad my periods are. I would rather be pregnant again. And this time I'm like, you know what, like I'm okay. So if you have any more questions about vagisteaming, just let me know. I can only tell you, I guess, my experience. And but I would highly suggest doing it at home. It's really easy to do at home. You can actually, I think in a spa it's like $150. So like I said, I would highly suggest doing it at home. And I will try to find a couple links that I've been reading or that I have read over the past few months. I will try to find a couple links to leave below. But if not, y'all, then just ask me any questions that you have about it. Like I said, I listed the benefits. And but you could probably just type in Vagisteam on YouTube or even in Google and find out whatever you want to know. But if you have any specific questions for me, then just leave them below, y'all. And I know it sounds crazy, but it was absolutely amazing. It's probably, I mean, y'all, I'm just like, I've got so many people like, oh my God, I'm going to do it. I'm so excited. And it was funny because like a few days after I did it, I was telling any and everybody that would listen about it. And so yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I hope you don't have any concerns. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below. And I will talk to y'all later. All right, bye, y'all.